verdict, we the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt as to count 1 of the indictment for aggravated murder.
13 months after Ohio State student Reagan Tokes' body was found in a local park, the man charged with her murder is found guilty. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Marshall.
And I'm Mike Jackson. What would have been Tokes' 23rd birthday, Brian Golsby, was found guilty on all counts. NBC4's Katie Ferrell live with what happened in court and what's next in this case. Katie?
Good evening. You know, as much as today was a win for Reagan's family, it was also a devastating one. On her birthday, as you mentioned, her family sat in the front row of the courtroom to come face to face with the now convicted killer of Reagan Tokes. It was Justice Day in the courtroom.
Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict on all counts?
Yes. For the family of Reagan Tokes, justice does not come without heartbreak.
Count 3, aggravated murder, guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Tokes' family wept as the guilty verdicts kept coming.
Guilty beyond a reasonable doubt for the specification of kidnapping. Guilty beyond a reasonable doubt for the specification of rape.
Brian Golsby was found guilty on all 9 counts, including aggravated murder, rape, kidnapping, aggravated robbery, and tampering with evidence. Prosecutor Ron O'Brien says this case touched a nerve with the community.
Well, I think this victim in this case, Reagan Tokes, is everybody's sister, everybody's female relative, and it's every woman's worst nightmare.
O'Brien says their case was strong, and although the Tokes family didn't want to talk about what happened today, he says they got the news they've waited for the past year.
I think they, as you could see from their reaction in the courtroom, were pleased with the verdict the jury returned.
And sentencing will come quick. Jurors return to court on Friday for the penalty phase. Golsby faces the death penalty, life in prison without parole, or at the very least, life in prison with a chance of parole after 25 years. We will, of course, continue to follow this story. Local for you, downtown, Katie Ferrell, NBC4.
Thanks, Katie. And it has been a long road to this point. Reagan Tokes disappeared February 8th of last year. The next day, her body was found at a metro park in Grove City. 2 days after that, police arrested Brian Golsby, and last Monday, jury selection for Golsby's trial began. And then today, the jury found Golsby guilty on all counts. And as Katie said, the sentencing phase will begin on Friday.
Today was also a big day for the Reagan Tokes Act, as a revised version of the bill was introduced in committee at the State House. Now, this bill would allow longer sentences for offenders who behave badly behind bars. It also calls for better monitoring of violent felons once they are released from prison. The bill co-sponsor Kristen Boggs says it will likely be passed into the full House for a vote in just a few weeks.
It brought to light a lot of shortfalls and a lot of cracks in the system. And certainly the worst thing that can happen is having history repeat itself. And so we want to make sure that this situation never happens again.
Boggs is hopeful the bill will make it to the governor's desk by the start of summer. We'll continue to follow the Reagan Tokes Act every step of the way. We'll be in the courtroom to bring you Golsby's sentencing, and bring you updates on air and online at NBC4i.com.